Hey Mets fans, welcome back to the channel, and we have a really exciting video today breaking down the New York Mets and their trade options for the 2020 MLB offseason. We know by now that the Reds are basically going back into a rebuild, at least that's what the initial reports would indicate. A couple weeks ago, Joel Sherman came out and explained how Sonny Gray very well could be a potential fit for the Mets, and since then, another coveted pitcher for the Reds has been put on the trade market, and Luis Castillo, and that is mind-boggling. The young 28-year-old pitcher, a phenomenal talent. Both these guys have been great with the Reds past couple years, but between them throwing money left and right at guys like Mike Moustakas, Nicholas Castellanos, among others, they really don't have much money that they are currently working with anymore. They want to help build the farm and get some more young, controllable talent in the roster because they know that they are not going to be much of playoff contenders in the coming year. So because of that, they're trying to sell off some of their bigger pieces in order to get a big return, and they have both been connected to the New York Mets. So that's what we will be breaking down today's video. A summary on both these players and their game, the possible connection with the Mets, if any, and trust me, there's definitely some, what they would bring to the table for the Mets, at least one of them in a trade, what kind of trade package could we see get a deal done between both sides, and everything in between. And as always, guys, make sure you stay all the way until the end of the video, find all the deets and all my thoughts on a guy like Luis Castillo and Sonny Gray and their possible connection to the Mets. And also make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, share this video with your friends if you end up enjoying this kind of Mets content, if you want to see more great Mets content like this going forward. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into this video. Starting off, we have Sonny Gray, the 31-year-old right-handed pitcher, originally drafted in the first round back in 2011 by the Oakland A's at 5'10", 195 pounds, had a strong 2020 campaign with the Reds, in which in 11 games played in 56 innings pitched, he put up 5 wins, 3 losses, an ERA of 3.7, a total of 72 strikeouts, a 1.21 whip, 11.57 K per 9, and a 4.18 walks per 9. In 2019, in his first full season with the Cincinnati Reds, in 31 games played in 175.1 innings pitched, he put up 11 wins, 8 losses, a total of 2.87 ERA, 205 strikeouts, a 1.08 whip, 10.52 K per 9, and a 3.49 walks per 9. And in his career totals, 197 games played and 1,132 total innings pitched, Gray has put up 75 wins, 63 losses, a 3.54 career ERA, 1,066 strikeouts, and a 1.22 whip. Gray is also a two-time All-Star, in 2015 in the AL with the Oakland A's, and in 2019 with the Cincinnati Reds in the NL, and he has had 6 seasons with a sub 3.7 ERA, and currently has a contract around 10.16 mil AAV for the remaining couple of years until he becomes a UFA starting in 2024, and also has a 2023 club option. Secondly, we have other Red starting pitcher in Luis Castillo, a 28 years of age, right-hander at 6'2", 200 pounds, never played a game with them, but was originally signed as an undrafted free agent by the Miami Marlins, but has spent his entire career to date with the Cincinnati Reds and had his debut with them in 2017, and since then has been one of the better starting pitchers in all of the MLB, and in 2020 had another very fine campaign. In 12 games played and a total of 70 innings pitched, he had 4 wins, 6 losses, a 3.21 ERA, 89 strikeouts, a 1.23 whip, 11.44 K per 9, and 3.09 walks per 9. Really impressive. And in 2019 had phenomenal numbers as well. In 32 games played and 190 innings pitched, he had 15 wins, 8 losses, a 3.40 ERA, a 226 strikeouts, 1.14 whip, a 10.67 K per 9, and a 3.73 walks per 9. And in his career, when it comes to his totals, in 90 career games played in 519.2 innings pitched, he has 32 wins, 33 losses, a 3.62 ERA, a 578 total strikeouts, and a 1.17 whip. Castillo was part of the MLB's All-Rookie team in 2017, and in 2019 was an NL All-Star, and currently has team control until the 2024 season with an AAV of 4.4 mil, and has arbitration eligibility in the 2022 and 2023 seasons. Okay, so before I go any further, I'm going to show you some more advanced stats like I did in my previous video regarding Trevor Bauer, and if you're interested in that and I haven't checked it out, make sure you do after this one, talking about these Reds pitchers. But Right here, I'm going to have Sonny Gray's advanced stats, and right here, I'm going to have Luis Castillo's advanced stats. So just take a look at this. Like, amazing numbers, again, talking in the high 80s when it comes to a lot of their percentiles among these rankings among all starting pitchers in the MLB. Their spin rates are truly through the roof, like this whole rotation, it seems, but no less, they're putting up some amazing numbers. So the question is, would either of them be a great fit for the Mets? Of course it would be. And have the Mets shown any interest? There has been some reports to indicate that a connection is in fact there. How deep has that connection been? I'm not sure. The Mets are currently weighing all their options, as we know, but either one of them would be a great fit, and they have been thrown around the connection with the Mets plenty. And really, a couple weeks ago, as I probably stated in this video, right? If not, then Joel Sherman for the New York Post is an analyst for MLB Network, came out and said in an article how Sonny Gray could be a strong fit for the Mets in a deal centered around someone such as Ahmad Rosario, because the Reds are desperate for shortstop help, and Rosario would definitely do that with age on his side and team control on his side as well. Rosario seems inevitable to get dealt at this point, given all the options the Mets have via trade, and Sonny Gray would make a lot of sense for the Mets, especially with that solid contract. Looking back on now, that's a great contract, and I know that there are people worrying that Sonny Gray can't handle a big market given how he played with the Yankees, but take into account that his implementation with the Yankees was not the same with what it is when not just the Rays, but also with the Reds. With the Reds, he's had a lot more leeway to just focus on what he wants to do, versus with the Yankees, one of the biggest issues was him having to constantly use his slider more than he was comfortable with. At least from everything that I've seen, that was one of the bigger issues. So again, it doesn't mean that Sonny Gray is going to thrive in New York again. It might very well be a similar situation where he doesn't handle well in a bigger market. So that could push the Mets away from that type of avenue. But when it comes to the type of package, the Mets can probably land Sonny Gray on a cheaper deal by far than they could with Luis Castillo, because Castillo, with age on his side, has yet to truly hit his prime. If you ask me, he's in the prime of his career, but when it comes to peak, when it comes to the best season we will ever see, we have not seen that yet with Luis Castillo. At the age of 28, he's only been in the league a couple years. He has barely any innings pitched on his arm thus far at the MLB level. It's insane, and he is definitely going to be a huge get for any team that tries acquiring him, and he will be a haul also because of that amazing contract at that very low AAV with that club option in 2023, but team control through 2024. So amazing for his contract, and what a get that would be for the Mets. But what would they have to give up? They would have to give up something significant. And here's what SNY actually proposed earlier today. Actually, I'll put it right here. Earlier today, if you guys want to check it out, exactly what could happen with them in a possible deal. You had their more coveted prospects in Matthew Allen and Brett Beatty and Ahmad Rosario. Rosario would make the most sense because they're helping address a need in that shortstop, but then you're giving up two of your most coveted prospects. And normally I would be like, no way, there's absolutely no way the Mets should do this or would do this. But at the same time, I will just give this benefit of the doubt. If there is kind of any player to give this kind of return to, given the type of contract and team control, it is a guy like Luis Castillo. You can make good arguments with other guys like Blake Snell as well, and I will definitely touch on him in a future video as a possible Mets option because there has been plenty there. But regarding Castillo in particular, he is a phenomenal pitcher that's only getting better by the day. He put up better numbers than he did in 2019 and 2020. I know it was a shortened season, but in 2019, he was phenomenal. His rookie year, he was dominant. In his following year, his sophomore year in 2018, he wasn't as good, but it wasn't a terrible season either. So he's been consistent thus far in his young career. And on that control, that is huge for a team that can really go out and continue to address things. And the best thing with the Mets now is if they're trying to be like the Dodgers, but this time in the East Coast, one of the better ways to do it is making these trades, giving up some prospects, but you're still going to gain prospects in the end and other trade avenues. For instance, take the Yankees, for example, with what they've been able to do in previous years, building the farm, not just between their own drafting, but also doing some smart trades, whether it's for rentals, among other things. So the Mets are going to find themselves in similar company there if they do in fact have to cough up big prospects. I don't want to see them do it. I don't want to see them lose guys like Allen and Beatty, because those are key coveted prospects for the Mets going forward. And I'm a big fan of both of them, especially Beatty. He looks like the real deal, and Allen has looked phenomenal as well for the pitching side of things. But regardless, if the Mets have to get rid of one of those, I don't think it is as detrimental because of the long-term success the guy like Luis Castillo can bring you, and also the fact of the club control he's under and for how much. That is just remarkable. It doesn't get much better. It's probably one of the best bargain contracts in all of the MLB regarding the type of starting pitcher he is. So that is my only exception to that. But But again, I perfectly understand the argument for anyone that is, say, not in favor of dealing key prospects, because as Sandy Alderson has stated, as all of them has stated within the Mets organization, they're going to be smart. They don't want to get rid of those key prospects unless it truly is a deal worthwhile that will benefit both sides greatly. And this is that one exception, if you ask me. But as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Mets fans, how do you feel about one of Sonny Gray Luis Castillo landing in Queens with the New York Mets? Do you like that idea, or do you think that they should stay centered when it comes to starting pitching still in free agency and free agency alone? I would love to hear your thoughts. I've been having so much fun on this channel. I literally get so amped and so excited making every single one of these videos. We've seen tremendous growth here in such a short period of time. We're going to get to 1,000 subscribers before I know it, and I simply can't thank you all enough in advance. So seriously, thank you again. I love you all. This has been so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to breaking down the other trade options for the Mets and some more free agency options going forward, because what a time it is to be a Mets fan, right? They're in on basically every player, or at least they have those tabs. They have plans A, B, C, D, all the way to F figured out, at least it would seem, given all their options and knowing the flexibility that they have when it comes to the dollars. So amazing time to be a Mets fan, and I cannot wait to see what the future is in store, not just for them going to the 2021 season, but also here on the channel. And I can't wait for you to be part of it as well. So thank you all again so much, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and check out previous videos in the end screen in a second, and I'll see you all next time.